guys, Cool Blonde, back. I'm Aaron.
I'm Calvin.
Eric.
And we're back with Naruto, where last time on Naruto, we were at the 5 Kage Summit.
5 Kages are going into one area.
Yeah, we have Kazakages.
One Kage
we have
comes out.
Tsuchikages. We have Mizukages. We have Raikages. And we have Hokages.
I want the Decapo Kage for Danzo to strive for. I want him decapitated. Take his head.
That seems harsh.
I don't know about the others. They seem cool. But
yeah, right?
Yeah.
I like, was it Mizu Kage?
it's not harsh.
Yeah, you probably
He's
did.
a butthead. And thus.
And Raikage, who just jumped out the window.
Yeah, that was cool, man. That was,
Let's roll.
All right, well, let's get started for the Kage Summit.
Do you think the neutral guy is like in with Danzo, or is that just working out in Danzo's favor?
I mean,
Or did he have previous machinations to set all this up anyway?
all of this has been kind of Danzo's
Yeah.
plan.
But how much is that guy aware of this is Danzo's plan? I guess is what I'm asking.
I don't know.
I
He
mean,
says he's neutral.
he might not have to be aware at all.
That's yeah.
Look,
I don't think he has to. I just wonder if he is.
It's been great. Like the Jinchuriki, last one is in the Leaf, but he's friends with another Jinchuriki who knows what it's like to be a Jinchuriki,
Yeah.
who's also a Kazakage and has good relationship with the Leaf.
Kind of like the
Gaara
idea.
will be in charge.
Kind of like the idea of Gaara, just because he doesn't have all of these like precedents and things in his head. Like he can take advice, but he can.
Sure.
I don't know, try to come at it with a fresh new thought with
Well-
this new venture.
Well, he was the one that was trying to get them to take it seriously in the beginning, and they weren't.
Yeah.
And unlike the other Kages, they reached out to the Leaf,
Yeah.
and they're the only ones that have allied at any point against the Akatsuki.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Naruto, Gaara.
I kind of want it to
The
be.
Shinobi.
I kind of want it to be Danzo. He starts to like take over, and then Sasuke does what he's done, and he's the hero.
And Tsunade wakes up and she becomes Hokage again, or we promote Kakashi. Those are my only two options. I don't know who else to make
Tsunade.
Hokage besides Tsunade or Kakashi.
With Tsunade being the last of the 3 Seinen, I'd like to have her back.
Yeah, but she has to wake up.
Yeah.
If Danzo dies and she doesn't wake up, like out of who else is there to be Kage? Like I feel like Kakashi's usually pretty good, but
Sure.
maybe there's someone else that I'm not thinking about. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I wouldn't do Yamato. You know.
Probably not. Even though he is like, he's a clone, right? He's a direct descendant-ish of one of the other Kage,
Yeah.
the Hokage, rather.
I don't think Naruto's plea worked out very well. The Raikage seems very adamant on like, whereas Naruto's come to this point of being like vengeance and fighting is not the answer, and like we need to find other solutions. The Raikage is like, that is the solution. We are built to be shinobi.
Yeah,
To learn
that's the only
ninjutsu.
solution.
You
Yeah.
must, instead of bowing your head, we should fight. And
I would have maybe led with like the story about like how we just dealt with pain, you know, and how
It's a long
we've
story,
turned that around. Yeah, I know, but
long
yeah,
story.
and it was snow, and I get you.
And the Raikage was not a patient man.
He's not a patient man. He has to have the rest of this meeting with a hole in front of him.
he also didn't want to meet with Naruto, right? So it's like when you walk by someone, you're like, oh hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Like, you just expect them to be like, oh good, how about
Yeah.
you? He's like, all good, and you go about your way. But if they stopped you, and you weren't ready to be stopped, and then they told you this entire story of what they defeated and how
Yeah.
they did it, you're like, what? Who are you? Why are you here? What do you want?
Sure.
So I don't know. I don't know what the solution should have been.
I mean, do you think the Raikage would listen to a leader of the 5? He seems like he's very distrustworthy.
Well,
Like one of the other
I think
Kages?
he came in here not in the right mindset
Yeah.
to be at a summit. He came in here like trying to out everybody and
yeah. He's also the only one that has
collect evidence against them.
a personal relation that's currently dealing with this, right? With his,
I
being
mean,
his brother.
Well, with him, yes, because his brother has currently been taken and they don't know where he is or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But Gaara was one and was taken. And
He has more intimate
a-
knowledge than anyone.
yeah,
about,
he survived it, so they're not
You're
necessarily after him anymore, but he does have a fairly
Yeah.
personal connection to that, I think.
I like in the beginning of the meeting, they're like, look, it's not a big deal. There's like 6 people that this would be a problem. Then later, like, oh yeah, one of those 6 people was the problem. Shit.
Which 6 people?
With Madara.
Oh, Madara.
Yeah, when they were listing the people that like that can actually control Jinchuriki or have the ability to do what they're
They
afraid
did leave Yamato off that list, though.
With them having Madara,
Sure, I get you.
like his controlling must not be like what Killer B did, right? Where he wasn't a Jinchuriki, but he could control like the tailed beast, because like he summoned or whatever the nine tails, right? But he didn't like. Did he have control of that nine tails exactly, or did he like? I guess how much control of the nine tails did he have? Because we just know he was involved in him coming and attacking. But I
certainly don't know what
how much power
he thinks his extent of control is. If that's what you're asking, I don't know.
Like I don't think it's the same as like Killer B, where Killer B like released it from inside of him and then like I assume turned back into it. Or
I think it's kind of like controlling the weather, right? Like I can create a hurricane. What the hurricane does afterwards, I can't really change, but there wouldn't have been a hurricane there to begin with.
And then the Uchiha Sharingan.
Is that kind of...
Yeah,
maybe.
But like the Uchiha Sharingan Eye is a visual jutsu thing too. So in terms of manipulation, he's got some power, right?
Sure. But like, can Sasuke do that too?
I don't know. At least he doesn't have the experience. Maybe he could, but doesn't know how. Isn't trained.
Can he?
I mean, maybe he has to be someone like Madara that's had all this experience to do that type of thing. I don't know. But maybe Sasuke has the potential to. And then, the line that I got kind of excited by, just in terms of like potential story stuff, was there's like, oh, something terrible happens. What if war suddenly breaks out? Like we could be going into a war between all these guys. They don't like each other. It doesn't seem like.
What? You're excited for war, Eric?
Yeah. Tournament arcs and war arcs in anime is always comes with some great stuff.
See, whenever they have like issues, they should have a fight, and whoever wins the fight, they go with that side.
Can't see that ever going wrong.
And then you can make the whole like ninja side of things. We'll skip the whole war aspect, and we'll just make agreements that way. Yeah. Right?
Might makes right.
Mm-hmm. Kind of, yeah. But
that's like, always worked out in the past.
Like, if the alternative is let's have war, like, no, let's just take your champion, take our champion, let's just have them battle.
Yep,
It's not to the death, but to one side.
You're pretty much saying, let's settle this in Smash, and yeah, I accept.
If they're already being like, well, war could break out, it's like, well, let's just make sure everyone has one good ninja.
Yeah.
And then, like, we'll do it that way. Yeah. But then you get to the point where it's like, well, you lost, now you should concede. It's like, no, and now we all fight.
I mean... But isn't that kind of what they've done in the past?
When they say concessions and compromises are forbidden with Shinobi, then I guess that's where you're really only kind of left with that. Like, you can't concede anything? You bring that in the table? I don't know.
I thought it's interesting that, like, every Kage has used a Akatsuki for something. Mm-hmm. Or has been used by the Akatsuki. Right. It seemed like the Mizu Kage... the previous one
was Mizukage,
being held or used
being controlled
or something.
They had some kind of agreement going.
Like
probably only benefited the Akatsuki.
Every country, every country in our world, like looks at each other and goes like, we're not going to do bad stuff. You're our allies, but every country also spies on each country.
Sure.
It's like but everyone does that. I don't know. I get you. And it's cheap labor.
And Sasuke and his team's there. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Are they listening, you think?
Or it seemed like they were watching, right?
They're like outside. Like, it looked like they were like outside. Now they're in like another room.
Yeah, they're at least in the lobby.
Yeah, like are they
not in the conference room?
Are they up in the rafters?
I was going to say, they did look like they were in the lobby of like when everyone was arriving and stuff like that. But now they're in the very top of the tower, which should be the most secure location of the castle.
Yeah. They came in, they saw them enter the lobby, but they're not in the conference room to listen.
Yeah.
But going back to the beginning and to Naruto's point, like vengeance, like Raikage, like he is doing this, incepting this mission because of vengeance, right? Because of what's happened to his brother, primarily. Mm-hmm. I think Naruto's right. Like that's the solution. It's not going to be more vengeance.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to kill Sasuke.
I guess the only thing you can say is that Sasuke doesn't have any family to avenge him. I don't mean to laugh when I say that.
Do the people with him now, would they be upset and fight back if he died, or would they not care?
I mean, that girl certainly would.
I don't know. Would Naruto be angry and retaliate, or Sakura retaliate in the future, or get someone else to
I
retaliate.
think Naruto would be sad and disappointed, but I don't know if he'd retaliate, like in a negative way. Sasuke or the others, the other Akatsuki adjacent people might.
Like, would any other ninjas in the Leaf Village be upset of Sasuke's death by the Raikage or something, And then would they attack the Cloud ninjas,
I mean, they'd be upset, but I guess would also probably give a lot of them some type of closure in that kind of loose thread of their childhood friend. Or classmate, I should say. I don't know if all of them would consider them friends, like Naruto would.
I guess it depends on if it doesn't fuel them into vengeance, retaliation. That doesn't necessarily give you closure either.
Yeah, sure.
Like, now you're set open where it's like, well, now I can never see Sasuke again.
Yeah.
And the Cloud Ninja are to blame, so I'm going to kill the Raikage.
Sure.
Now the Raikage is dead, and then they want to retaliate back. And
how much... I mean, I truly believe that Naruto's motivations when he's trying to reason with these people is because... It's because of his friendship with Sasuke. It's not because of his promise he made to Sakura and the fact that he loves her, and that in order to love her, he needs to fulfill that promise first. Like, I get that, but I imagine one is maybe more prominent than the other for him. Or would you say they're equal or not?
Sure. I mean, Naruto is already counting his promise that he made her way back. Like, I will bring Sasuke back.
Yeah.
Like, he failed that time, and he still has that promise to himself, but like, the timing is a factor.
Sure.
I guess now. Like, he can't keep that promise, but he can keep another promise. Sai is
wait, what's Sai gonna do?
Interesting factor.
He's
I don't know.
like,
He's
no,
either
Naruto,
gonna.
I can't just not do something.
He's either gonna
something,
tell
right? Like,
Sakura that
Tell on Danzo.
that Naruto loves him.
he loves him, and then say all the shit that Danzo's doing to Naruto. I don't know. He could.
No, he can't. He has
Well, he can't say.
He can't say what Danzo's doing things.
He can't say any information about Danzo, but maybe he could say stuff about like what his brother was doing, or like
whose brother?
Other Sai's brother.
Can he like draw it? Like like sometimes you.
I'm
do
gonna
like
just assume no.
No,
but
I don't know.
What's
It
that
is
game
on
that you
his
draw and
tongue.
try to get people to guess what you're drawing? We can do that.
You mean the one that
Like charades, but drawing.
we played?
Yeah, what's it called? It starts with S. Anyway,
I think Pictionary is the one.
doesn't start with an S.
no, but I think there's one called
Super
like,
Pictionary.
Something else. It might be Pictionary.
I don't know. I don't know if he can. I'm not sure what all that tongue does.
Sure.
What's that?
I know he said like it keeps him from speaking any secrets of Danzo's.
Yeah.
Right.
To
Like
the point,
any-
the way he said it, I'm like, wait, can he even say that he can't talk about this? Like,
He clearly could.
and is him saying like that feels like a thing that you shouldn't be able to say then, but I don't know. So I don't know exactly what all that stuff.
It might just be like a very narrow scope to protect specifically and only Danzo, but not necessarily Danzo's schemes. Just maybe Danzo's personal weaknesses, like in combat or his strategy
Can
or
I
something like that.
endlessly
I don't know.
speculate and he can say yes or no? Or if I'm going down, or warm or cold.
I don't know. If it's revealing a secret about Danzo,
Yeah.
probably not. If it's a secret about a plan that Danzo is involved in, maybe.
Yeah. I like testing the limits. I'm sorry.
Because Sai told him, like, I've been spying for Danzo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that is a secret that Danzo has, but it involves Sai
True.
more than it does Danzo, you know? So there is some, like, gray area in the middle there. Between telling all of his secrets and telling none of them. Just don't know what kind of useful information that you could get from yes and no questions.
Well,
I hope Danzo does not get the role of the Shinobi Alliance.
President Ninja.
No!
It's looking like he will.
I know.
I figured that this is like he presents the evidence at exactly the right time to put himself slightly above everyone as far as knowledge and capability, so that when the leader is selected, he looks like a good candidate, right? But before that, it didn't serve as a benefit to him directly. It only served as a benefit to share knowledge between the Kage, right? So he played that card when it benefited him personally the most and not everyone at the table.
You're going to be like, oh, look, he seems to know stuff and knows what I'm talking about. Meanwhile, the Kazakage didn't even know that the Akatsuki were being hired by the Kage. What an idiot. Can't trust him. This guy knows what's going on.
Sure.
Going to those kind of things.
Yeah.
Dang it, I want Gaara to be the leader.
I wanted Gaara to be the leader as well.
Thanks, Eric.
I want it to be Danzo.
Damn it, Eric!
And then he dies. And then...
Guys, thank you so much for watching Naruto Shippuden with us. We'll be back next week with another episode, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you're enjoying the videos. Lets us know that you are liking it. That's what it's for. Early access, full length, and more over at blindwave.com. Check them out right now.